Okay. Beautiful bike, looks great, gets a lot of looks, rides great. Torque sensing, love that. Cadence sensing, I'm starting to move away from. Really like the torque sensing. Cadence is good, especially if you have some trouble pedaling or with your hips or maybe your back. But if you want some exercise, torque sensing is the way to go. This is a really nice commuting bike. Has these beach cruiser style handlebars. It's very comfortable. You got front shocks on this one too. Built-in brake lights. It's a great bike. That bike's gonna make a lot of people happy if they buy it.
You like it?
Yeah, I like it. Hey, Wayne here with the Mokwheel Asphalt. Let's check it out. Oh, I knew it was gonna happen eventually. So this is the second bike I've gotten from Mokwheel. I'll put a link down below to the first one, which was the Basalt. But one of the things I wanted to mention is the paint job on both these bikes is remarkable. Looks really good. No weld marks on most of the bike. A little bit here and there, but not too much. Also, they have these integrated brake lights on the rear of the bike on both sides. So that's a plus. And overall, just a great looking bike. So anyways, I'm gonna bring the camera in, put everything together, go over the specs, take it out for a ride. Let's do that now. Okay, one of the first things we're gonna do is we are going to turn this stem around and tighten it up. It's packed this way so it doesn't go through the box. So you gotta make sure you turn this back around. Line it up the best you can. You can always readjust later. And then tighten each side down. Another thing to keep in mind is if you want to adjust the handlebars later, higher or lower, there is a nut or a screw right under the stem here. So you can loosen this and that'll let you bring it up, angle it more. So just a little extra tip. Okay, to install the handlebar, we're going to remove these 4 screws here and then place the handlebars in, line them up, tighten them down, check them again later. Okay, so there are some crosshairs here to help you get everything lined up if you like. All you have to do now that you have everything lined up is just tighten these down. And again, once you're completely done putting everything together on the bike, you can go back over all of this and readjust and realign and tighten things back down. So be prepared to do that. Okay, while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and install the display to the handlebar. All you have to do is remove these 2 screws that are holding it together. Okay, so once you have those removed, make sure you have it in the right position here. And all you do is slip it on over the handlebar. Get each side pretty snug. You can remove that piece of film there. Okay, once you're done, grab the handlebars and move them around. If you find that you've got some play down here at the bottom, what you're going to want to do is remove this cap on top because you're going to need to tighten it down. But before you do that, loosen this bolt and this bolt here, and then pull this cap off. Tighten it down as much as you can, and then these 2, there's one on each side, they're going to tighten in opposite directions. So you're going to have a hex key in both sides, and then tighten that up real good. Then tighten these back up. And put the cap back on. Everything should be good after that. Okay, to prepare for the front tire and wheel to be installed, we need to remove this little separator, this little spacer here for the brake pads. And your disc brake on the tire or on the wheel is going to slide right in between the pads here. So don't squeeze your brakes. You want to make sure these are nice and open. Okay, so the second thing you're going to want to do to prepare to install that front tire and wheel is remove these bolts or loosen these bolts and remove this piece right here. You can use the 15mm wrench that Mokwheel supplies and just loosen it up a little bit. Shouldn't be very tight. So yeah, remove those two or loosen them as much as you can. And once you have that nice and loose, all you have to do is lift this up a little bit and slide that out. Okay, make sure that you loosen these nuts that are on each side of the wheel here as much as you can. You can take them off if you like, but I like to just get them as loose, as far from the center of the wheel that I can. Pull the washers out, make sure that they are on the end. Okay, so for this part, you're gonna wanna have help. It's best to have somebody else lift the bike while you slide this disc in between the pads and the forks onto the stud here. So I don't have anybody here to help me right now, so I am going to struggle through it and see how well I get it done on my first try. And everything's on and looks good. Go back and tighten this down. Again, you can use your 15mm wrench to tighten that down really good. The front light and fender are pretty easy to install. You're going to remove this screw, fit your fender in between it right here, bring your light over, line it all up, put that screw back in. And don't tighten it too much because you may have to adjust it up higher or lower. There's still these pieces right here that we have to install, so we're going to do this next. Okay, so on each side of the bike, you're going to have to remove this screw here, which is really easy, as you can see. Put that little eye down there. Screw it back in. Just a little bit. You can tighten it up later. Then do the same on the other side. Okay, so the pedals come in a left and a right, of course. The right will tighten up clockwise, while the left will go counterclockwise, as those little arrows show on each pedal. So I am starting off on the left side here, so this one's going to have to go counterclockwise. Now, once you get that going, if you need a wrench to tighten it up, it's a 15mm wrench. So the supplied wrench that they give you, again, will work. So I like to get it in there and then just give it a little tightening. And that's it. Now I'll go around and do the same thing on the other side, but I'll make sure to tighten that one going clockwise. Okay, so I'm not sure why, but the rack comes kind of loose. It needs to be fastened to the bike, and I almost missed that on the Basalt when I got that. So this is the Asphalt. Looks like they've done the exact same thing. So you're going to want to remove the screw, bring this down, tighten it up, and then tighten the bolts on each side of the bike. So let's get that done right now. Okay, once you get everything installed, make sure you go back over everything, and I mean everything. Make sure everything's nice and tight. Check the battery for a full charge. Tires should be properly inflated. Now, take a note here that the book says 20 psi for the tires. I looked at the tires, and on the tires it's stamped 55 psi, at least on these tires. So I suggest you look at the tires and go with that. I inflated mine to 50 psi, and I'm happy with that. So check it all out. I'm going to go over the specs next, and then I'm going to take it out for a ride. Let's do it. This is the Mokwheel Asphalt. The Asphalt is a Class 2 e-bike that comes in both a standard and a step-through frame. The model that Mokwheel sent in for review is the step-through model, so that's the one I'll be talking about. At the time of this video, the Asphalt ST is being marked down from $17.99 to $15.99, making it a great time to pick one up. I've placed my affiliate link down below in the description area in case you decide to purchase one. The Asphalt step-through comes in 3 colors, mocha, white, and lapis. The step-through comes in 2 frame sizes, large and normal. The large will be good for people from 5'4" to 6'4", while the normal will be better for people from 5'1" to 5'8". The bike weighs 60 pounds, and the maximum payload for this bike is about 400 pounds. For braking, the Asphalt has Star Union 156 PYD hydraulic disc brakes with 180mm rotors. Although I've never heard of them, they seem to brake just fine for me. It has a 44T crankset with the Shimano 7-speed derailleur. The Asphalt is equipped with a Samsung 48-volt 14.7 amp-hour battery with a range of about 50 to 60 miles. Of course, mileage will vary based on things like terrain, your riding style, and your weight load. It has Chaoyang 27.5 by 2.4 inch tires with tread that will be good for commuters. It has an adjustable 100mm front fork. The headlight is decent, but I really like these integrated brake lights. The brake lights are built into the frame of the bike, with one on each side, making it easy for people to see you on both sides. The saddle is pretty comfortable, and I think it'll be fine for most people. And finally, the Asphalt comes with both a rear rack and fenders. Okay, so now I'm riding the Asphalt from Mokwheel. This is the second e-bike that I have from them. Really like the Basalt. That was the first bike I got from them. That was an excellent bike. Still have it. Love it. This one is their second one that they've sent to me for review. It's called the Asphalt ST for step through. It's a torque sensor motor. So this bike has torque sensing, which means you're not going to get as much of that ghost pedaling that you do with cadence sensors. Now I've got this bike unlocked to go 28 miles per hour. So I still get a little bit of that ghost pedaling at top speeds, but it's not bad. It's not like a cadence sensor where all you do is pedal like this and the speed of the bike will max out. With this one, you actually have to pedal and give it some pressure because it'll measure the torque that you're putting into it to get the bike to go. So I really like torque sensors on bikes, and this one works pretty darn well. Don't forget, if you're interested in this bike, check my affiliate link down below. It doesn't cost you anything to use it. Helps the channel out. I appreciate that. And don't forget to subscribe and thumbs up. This bike will be great for commuters. It's got really good tires for the street. It sort of has a beach cruiser handlebar feel that kind of wraps around you a little bit. So if that's the kind of style you're looking for, this is going to be a great one for you. Currently, this bike's going for $14.99, marked down from $17.99. I don't know how long that sale's going to last. So again, now's a good time to buy one if you're looking for one. For those of you with a preference on throttle, I know some people like twist throttles and others like thumb throttles. Doesn't matter to me, either way is fine, but this one is a thumb throttle. Mokwheel seems to consistently be putting out constantly putting out great looking bikes with their paint job. Their paint jobs are totally awesome. The Basalt looks really, really good. We couldn't get over how good that looked once we got it, and it's no different with the Asphalt. The Asphalt just looks great. It has a really smooth 7-speed shifter from Shimano. Pretty standard, but overall works fine. Hydraulic disc brakes. I'm not that familiar with this brand, but they work just fine. Another good thing that Mokwheel has done is made this stem adjustable so that you can raise your handlebar up and down. That helps if you're kind of tall and you want to raise that up a little so you're not so much hunched over. So thanks Mokwheel for that. These brake lights in the back are really nice because they're integrated. Sometimes when you have a brake light on the post of your seat and then you have something on the rack, it gets covered up. But when it's on the frame of the bike like it is here, you can always see them. So that's a good plus to have. Not a lot of bike companies are doing that. So if you can find one that has them built in like that, that's a good thing. This bike is ideal for just getting out and riding and having a good time. And if you're commuting back and forth to work or school, something like that, again, this will be a great bike for that. So if you're trying to decide between cadence and torque sensing bikes, just think of it this way. If you're having trouble, say like hips, knees, something that's going to cause you to have pain when you pedal, then you may want to go cadence. But if you don't have any problems pedaling and you want to get a little more exercise, go for torque, which is what this is. So now, don't get me wrong, you can just pedal, throttle it down the whole ride. You can do that. You can still do it on this bike too, but when it comes to pedaling, you're gonna pedal more with a torque sensing bike. Or actually, you're gonna pedal a little harder. So keep that in mind. Personally, I'm starting to really like torque sensing more than the cadence sensors. I think out of all the bikes that I've had so far, and I've had some really good looking bikes, I think this bike has gotten more attention than any of the other ones on Paint Job. It's a great looking bike. Rides really well too. I don't even feel any pressure at all going up hills. So this is great. If you're looking for a bike that you can go over pretty much any terrain, check out the Basalt. But if you're looking for one strictly for commuting, check out this one, the Asphalt. I think the only thing I'd add to this bike would probably be to pop off these caps and stick a mirror on the side. One or two, either way. I'll have links to that down below too. So if this bike checks off all the boxes for you, check out my affiliate links down below. Doesn't cost you anything to use, helps out the channel, and I appreciate that a lot. Go grab yourself one, get out there and ride, and I'll see you on the next one.